afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. You are in time for the latest updates. This is the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma. On sign language interpretation, we have Byron Abuli. Let's interact on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Our top focus this afternoon, thousands of worshippers on Sunday flocked to Pastor Ezekiel Odero's New Life Prayer Center and Church in Mavueni, Cliffy County for the first time since the church was closed more than a week ago. The faithful, however, had a difficult time accessing the church after police officers barricaded the premise.
The faithful, some of whom had arrived as early as 4 a.m., waited patiently outside for their leader to emerge from his palatial residence located within the more than 300-acre compound. Police said they had orders to close the church and bar worshippers from accessing it, but failed to produce any court order on the same when challenged by pastor's lawyers Dunstan Omari and Cliff Ombeta. The lawyers termed the move by the police as tantamount to the persecution of the church.
The procedure to communicate closure is by a document legal with a stamp of the coat of arms of the Republic of Kenya. They don't have. The law says that will be incurred from the shopping mall. The police officers will be held liable.
They argued that the complex is host to several other activities and businesses such as a restaurant, a shopping mall, and several construction sites, among others, that have nothing to do with the church.
We will be demanding they will compensate those construction sites which have timelines to be completed. Yes. And will hold the police officers individually responsible.
Rights za mtu, individual rights, fundamental rights, za kuomba, za kukutana, za kuja pamoja, za kuabudu, ni right ambazo zimepewa na constitution kabisa. Ukiweza kutaka kuzitoa, lazima uende mahakama na mahakama ikupatie barua. Lazima uende kotini.
The church has a capacity of 45,000 people, but due to the tribulations of the televangelist, they expected more than double the capacity. After briefing the press, Pastor Ezekiel and his two lawyers led the faithful in a march into the church compound for worship. Michael Mondiga for Lunchtime News.
Calls to beef up security in Khwisero, Kakamega County took center stage during the funeral of former East Kisa Ward Representative Stephen Maloba, who was stabbed to death at a political rally. Chaos, however, erupted at the funeral as members of parliament present took issue with members of county assembly for allegedly denying them a chance to address the gathering. The MCAs had accused the MPs of not condemning the killing of the MCA at a political rally organized by Khwisero Member of Parliament Christopher Aseka.
A flying chair is caught mid-air as a melee ensued in Monjeti area, Khwisero constituency in Kakamega County during the funeral of former East Kisa Member of County Assembly Stephen Maloba. Outraged members of County Assembly barred members of Parliament present from speaking at the funeral, accusing them of negligence in Maloba's death that occurred at a political event organized by Khwisero Member of Parliament Christopher Aseka.
MPs wetu hawakulali kitendo. Kutembea pamoja. Na kutembea pamoja ni kusaidia wananchi na kuwa na urafiki MCAs na MP.
We are all equal to the task. Tusionane kama maadui.
Ningeomba wenzangu tuende tukae, tujue usalama wetu utakuwa namna gani. Swala wa kwanza kwa ukatusi ya Kenya hii ni nani?
MCA. Ukiangalia hapa security iko inside nyingine hapa kwa MCA. Hatuna.
Attempts by Kenya Kwanza Secretary General Cleophas Malala to call the situation, however, drew criticism from Siaya Governor James Orengo and others.
Tunauliza kwa nini wajaenda kuhakikisha wanaajibika na kifo cha Maloba.
Wanasema kuna usalama. Wakati ambapo kulikuwa we are not going to negotiate with the national government.
Anatuambia naomba Inspector General. Unaomba nini? Naomba kana mtu kila siku. Tunataka wale polisi wote.
Deputy Party Leader Wycliffe Oparanya, DAPK Party Leader Eugene Omalo, and Kakamega County Governor Fernandez Baraza blamed security officers in the region for lethargy.
Haitoshi kama viongozi tuje tu hapa tuseme pole. Apart from saying pole, we want to demand justice for Maloba and Maloba's family.
We are not going to praise until justice is done for Muchuma. The issue of security, we are going to give it priority. Tumetokuwa na kikao kwenye Council of Governors na jambo hili warengo pia wanasaidia sana.
The county commissioner, however, called for patience as investigations proceed to ensure justice is served.
Tuache uchunguzi ifanywe na taasisi ambayo inahusika DCI na tayari
Maloba's widow announced her intention to run for the same position, promising to complete the projects he initiated.
Nitakanga vitu ya ukweli na vitu ya uwazi. Hakutakanga vitu ya siri. Ningeomba kama ingewezekana tu mimi nirudi kwa kazi ya mzee wangu nimalize.
Serafina Robi for Lunchtime News.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has lauded member states of the Great Lakes region for their commitment to peace and stability in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Sudan. He said the responsibility of delivering lasting peace for the DRC, Sudan and the Great Lakes region at large heavily lies with the member states. Mudavadi made the remarks while representing President William Ruto at the 11th high-level summit of the Regional Oversight Mechanism on the Peace, Security and Cooperation Framework for the heads of state and government in Bujumbura, Burundi. Mudavadi underscored Kenya's commitment to support the initiative being undertaken by the regional member states in ensuring normalcy is restored to the affected countries in the region. Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has thrown his weight behind the call for the one man, one vote, one shilling campaign. Nyoro, who is also the chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee at the National Assembly, says allocation of revenue should be based on the population and not landmass. Nyoro's sentiments come amid a push by Mount Kenya politicians to have revenue sharing formula changed.
One vote, one shilling appears to be gaining traction in the Mount Kenya region. Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro now says he is backing the idea.
Idadi ya watu kwa sababu ndio inalipa kodi, idadi ya watu ndio inachaguana. Hiyo pia tunafanya mikakati kule bunge. Now we have the support of our president ya kwamba tuegemee sana maendeleo tukiangazia watu.
The lawmaker says it is only fair that the region receives financial allocation commensurate to its economic output.
Hata hii basari tunaangalia vile tutabadilisha formula hata ya CDF so that kwenye kuna watu wengi wanapewa pesa mingi, sio kupewa tu ati inatoshana, hata constituency hazitoshani. So ile maneno tulikuwa tunasema ya one man one vote one shilling, it is not far-fetched.
A lobby group from Mount Kenya says it plans to present a submission before the bipartisan committee to push for the one man, one vote, one shilling agenda. The lobby group, calling itself the Salt of the Mountain, argues that there is need for fairness in the sharing of the national cake.
So when it comes to bursaries, I understand today people are being given 1,000. What can you do with 1,000, Bob? Can you take a child to school? No. So we are advocating for one man, one shilling, one vote, so that we are treated as equal. Let the weight of our votes be hard. Let our pockets be full.
Kamchi Menza for Lunchtime News.
A family in Kino, Kiambu County is appealing to well-wishers to help them raise 1.5 million shillings to enable their kin to undergo surgery to remove a brain tumor. 65-year-old man, Michael Navade, was diagnosed with skull-base sarcoma, a type of cancer that begins in the connective tissues of the body.
Jessica Kisha says her family is engaged in a war of a lifetime. Their patriarch is ailing. Michael Navade has a brain tumor that needs to be surgically removed. However, there is a problem. The family is cash-strapped and cannot afford to foot the medical bill.
Mzee amekuwa mgonjwa kwa mwaka moja na nusu. Na vile nimesema, hii ugonjwa ilianza kama malaria tu, kidogo kidogo homa. Imekuja kukua tu mzito kwa miezi 8. Miezi 8 ndio nimeona mwili imezofeka kabisa. Mwenyewe hakuli. Saa ingine anashindwa hata kutembea.
Michael has been in and out of the hospital, each trip costing the family a fortune.
Madhara ni makubwa sana sababu mzee amekuwa tegemeo. Amekuwa akisimama kama mzee kwa boma, akishughulika hapa na pale, lakini kwa wakati huu amelala tu chini. Inabidi sisi wenyewe tuwe wa kushughulika. Kila alikuwa anafanya kwa wakati hawezi fanya. Sasa imekuwa ni madhara kwetu kwa maana hawezi fanya kila angekuwa anajifanyia.
The family is appealing to well-wishers to help them raise some 1.5 million shillings to enable Michael to undergo surgery.
Well-wishers, naomba tu mnisaidie niweze kupeleka mzee hospitali akatibiwe. Maana hakuna hospitali tunaingia bila pesa. Ni Mkenya yote yule ananisikiza kwa saa hii, tafadhali mnisaidie niweze kuponya maisha ya huyu mzee.
Well-wishers can send their contribution through M-Pesa Changa Paybill 891300, account number 69073. Michael Navade. For Lunchtime News, I'm Lilian Sana.
Youth have been urged to observe moral standards, especially during this season of holiday with most students at home. Take a look.
Speaking during the 61st Annual General Meeting for the Young Men Christian Association, the Chief Executive Officer, Music Copyright Society of Kenya, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, said there is need to sensitize the youth on the type of content they consume to safeguard morality.
What we need right now is to turn that talent into money. So monetizing talent. And to do that, you need proper policies, you need awareness, you need a conducive environment for you to be able to do your business. And that's where the government comes in. Because the business of copyright is very lucrative all over the world, very well paying.
His message was echoed by YMCA CEO Jared Muchuma, who said that there is need to connect young people to opportunities in safe spaces which will empower them to be responsible persons in future.
Our business as YMCA, we exist to empower the young people, and that speaks more about our vision, which is empowering young people for the African Renaissance, and we do quite a lot as an organization.
Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Finland in Kenya, Otto Kivinen, said the Finnish government through the Finland YMCA seeks to fund programs that equip the youth with skills for both formal and self-employment opportunities.
Some of the issues that we're closely working with is the kind of youth-based security agenda in Kenya, and that's something that is in the center of Finnish foreign policy as well, and kind of creating meaningful avenues for youth to participate in the decision making and making them part of the peace processes and peaceful societies at large.
The spouse of the Deputy President, Dorcas Rigathi, has said drug barons must be dealt with in accordance with the law. Speaking at a Nairobi church, Pastor Dorcas said the barons are wiping out a generation and they must be stopped. She says the president and his deputy are working to ensure that drug barons are sent out of the job. She said that she will not relent in rescuing the boy child from the streets. Pastor Dorcas also said that the rescue of the boy child is a rescue of the nation.
Those boys you see there, if you want the security of this nation, get them out of streets. If you want the gender-based violence to stop, get those boys out of the streets. If you want teenage pregnancies to stop, get those boys out of the streets. Validate their dreams. Those are the future missionaries that are out there, lost and living in oblivion, rejected. And because we have become the living dead, we don't feel anything. You see them, you actually make your widow go up.
And a family is grieving the death of their 3 children who died in a fatal road accident along the Juja Farm Road in Kiambu County. 2 people survived the accident with major injuries and were rushed to the Thika Level 5 hospital. According to the police, the deceased had parked a motorbike beside the road when a lorry rammed into them. Residents and families are appealing to the government to help the family bury their loved ones and expedite the construction of speed bumps and road signs to avert more incidents.
So na mimi nikapigiwa simu na mtu mwingine akaniambia tunakukujia huko Murang'a. So huyo rafiki akakuja, lakini tukaenda Thika Level 5. Sasa hapo ndipo nilipata watoto wa shaaga. Kwanza nikaona huyo ako ICU Irogo.
Na vile tulikuwa tumezoeana tu, tunaongea tu kila wakati. Wakisikia kunipigia wananipigia, wakisikia kupigia babao hata usiku wanapiga tu simu, tunaongea, mtu anajieleza ama anasema kile alikuwa anataka. So hatukukuwa na mpaka hatuwezi piga simu usiku ama uwezi piga mchana, kila wakati tu tulikuwa tunaongea.
The International Police Association, in collaboration with the Ngong community, has planted over 3,000 seedlings at the National Police Leadership Academy. The 6-hour exercise saw over 2,000 assorted species of hard and softwood trees planted in line with President William Ruto's goal of planting 15 billion trees by 2032.
Residents of Ngong, Kajiado County have been challenged to not only plant trees during this rainy season, but also take care of the seedlings to maturity.
Unapata mahali ya maji, watu wamefunika, imekuwa sasa ndio mahali yao ya kuweka makazi. Unapata miti mimea imefika juu, watu wanafyeka because of their selfish interest, na inatudhuru sisi.
And we are working towards achieving or realizing the target number of trees that should be planted, that is 15 billion.
The International Police Association is using such initiatives to reach out and build public confidence. Meanwhile, corporate institutions and other stakeholders in Mary have been urged to take advantage of the rainy season to combat climate change that has seen the region rely on relief food.
Lakini tukipanda miti tunaboresha uchumi kwa kupunguza magonjwa, miti ya matunda, miti ya kutupa kivuli, na miti pia ya kusaidia kina mama kama kuni.
Half of Embu County ni semi-arid, na yale tunafanya ni kuhakikisha kwamba yale area ya semi-arid areas increase tree cover.
Embu County is currently at 28% of tree cover, according to Area County Commissioner Jack Obuo. Hisufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
A 4-story building that was under construction collapsed in the Kido Fomako area of Kikuyu constituency. Neighbors say the building developed some cracks before the masons began frantic efforts to repair the cracked sections. The cracks, however, widened, sending the building tumbling down. The incident reawakened calls for the proper regulation of the construction industry to save lives.
Walikuwa mafundi 8 ndio walikuwa wanajaribu kuweka supporters ya kushikilia nyumba ndio isianguke, lakini muda wa saa 10 hivi ndio sasa wametoroka, wakaniambia toka nje, nyumba inaanguka. Kulikuwa kuna korogwa, so hao watu wa korogwa wakaanza kusema hiyo nyumba inaweza anguka, ndio wakaruka nje. Sasa wakaachana na hiyo kazi.
On the status of the many buildings that are mushrooming, especially those buildings that have been flagged as unsafe, we all know that the governor had authorized a team from Kiambu to move around Kiambu, and they flagged a few buildings.
We have since started our investigation, a multi-agency investigation, just to get to the bottom of this matter, to find out what really happened, what brought this building down.
A section of leaders in Kiambu County has lauded the government's push for the easing of migration barriers to enable Kenyans access to job opportunities in foreign countries. The leaders say the move will help lower the rate of unemployment and renew the hopes of many Kenyan youth.
Kiamba MP John Jogona Kawanjiko says the announcement that 250,000 job opportunities will be created for Kenyans in Germany is music to many ears.
Tumepata nafasi ya 250,000 workers ambao wanafaa kutoka nchi yetu waende Jerumani wakafanye kazi. Hatuwezi peleka wa student wetu na watoto wetu Jerumani kama hawasomi.
Meanwhile, residents of Samburu County now want the Kenya Defence Forces to be allowed to take charge of the security operation in the area. This is after over 100 cows were stolen and one Kenya police reservist killed in the latest banditry attack in the area. Elsewhere, Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru has handed over the land on which affordable housing units in Kerugoya town will be constructed.
Kirinyaga County has given land for this project, and I must thank the County Assembly because they have approved low-cost housing to be done in Kerugoya, to be done in Moya, and to be done in Sagana as a beginning.
The National Government and Equity Group Foundation have announced a near breakthrough in their joint scholarship programs for bright but needy students.
Tunataka kuinvest na kuhakikisha kwamba tunapatia watoto wetu the only best thing we can give them, na hiyo ni masomo.
And the State Department of Industry Principal Secretary Juma Mukwana says the government will construct a cotton ginnery in West Ugenya, Siaya County.
Tumerawana na mheshimiwa ya kwamba kwa hii shamba ambayo tumesimama tunakuja kujenga ginnery kupitia kwa Ministry ya Industries. Tutakuja tutengeneze ka factory kidogo ya kutengeneza sabuni, factory kidogo ya kutengeneza, unajua kwa pamba unaweza toa pamba, unaweza tengeneza sabuni, unaweza tengeneza mafuta, unaweza tengeneza animal feed. So tunataka tuweke hiyo mambo yote pamoja.
Finally, the malnutrition levels in Nandi County are still worrying, according to research done by Taxpayers Association in collaboration with Christian Aid. The research indicates that 30% of children aged below 5 years in the county suffer from malnutrition.
One of the key observations within the report that came out was that there's a high malnutrition rate within Nandi County, and this is attributed to the fact that more than 70% of the food that is being consumed within Nandi County is being bought, yet the environment is conducive for agriculture.
Thank you for staying with us. Welcome to Channel 1 Sports News. Soccer Talent Academy and Agape won the inaugural Amex Ligindogo Inua Talanta tournament held at Ligindogo Grounds, Nairobi. Soccer Talent Academy thrashed Ligindogo 6-3 in the final to win the Under-11 football title. In the Under-9, Agape beat Soccer Talent Academy 2-0 to be crowned champions. Makolandes edged out Faces Soccer Academy 2-0 through post-match penalties after a 2-2 stalemate during the normal time to claim the under-11 ball title as Kibra Saints beat Ligindogo 4-2 to settle for the plate. The one-day competition, which was organized by Ligindogo Academy in collaboration with Amex Auto Parts, featured 12 teams.
Your email and
in our company. We normally do 3 CSRs every year. Previous few years we've only been doing tennis, but then we realized that football is the heart of so many Kenyans. So we have decided to come to football, and we believe in nurturing young skills and young talents as our CSR core value.
The purpose for the tournament is to create avenue for these kids to showcase their talent, because you can see there's so much talent around. So we thanks to Amex for coming on board to support the initiative, because we talked to them and they bought the idea.
Rodrigo scored a brace as Spanish giants Real Madrid won the Copa del Rey for the first time since 2014 after beating Osasuna 2-1 in the final in Sevilla. The victory delivered a 20th Copa del Rey title for Real Madrid as they now turn their attention to Tuesday's Champions League semi-final first leg against Manchester City.
Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid and their 20th Spanish Cup in their 40th final, ending a 9-year wait. Rodrigo fired Madrid ahead inside 2 minutes after Vinicius ran down the left. However, Lucas Toro leveled for Osasuna in the 50th minute to give them hope of an upset in their first cup final since 2005 and second ever. Rodrigo fired home after a rebound fell his way, following another Vinicius charge, ensuring Madrid takes the trophy back to the capital.
All right, so we've come to the end of Channel 1 Lunchtime News. For more details on just add items and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Thank you for your company. Also on our social media platforms, thank you for your feedback. My name is Irene Muchuma. On sign language interpretation is Byron Abuli. On behalf of the entire team,